Is the United Arab Emirates making changes to its foreign policy? The UAE's leaders recently released a roadmap that charts the country's domestic and foreign policy for the next 50 years.
The UAE leadership announced a slew of grand projects on Sunday, 3 months ahead of the UAE's 50th National Day celebrations. As part of the projects of the 50 new projects will be based on 10 principles, with solidifying the union being a prime focus.
Some of the points include an emphasis on good relations with its neighbors, regional stability, and the call for peace. It also includes principles like building the best and most dynamic economy in the world and calling for harmony, negotiations, and dialogue to resolve all disputes. The new plan was outlined by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed, also known as MBZ. He's been the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi since 2004 and was appointed Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces in 2005. Given his military background, he has been the leader of transforming the country's military capabilities in what the UAE says is an effort to provide security in the region. And he's also spearheading building stronger ties with regional powers. Evidence of these changes came when the UAE followed Saudi Arabia's lead in ending the blockade on Qatar.
This agreement is not about Iran or about anyone else. It's about bringing our countries together and making sure that we work together to deliver prosperity and security for our people. And we are confident that we are in a place that will deliver that and that the leaderships of all the countries will be working very hard to make sure that we are coordinating our regional policies.
The UAE is also seeking a better relationship with Turkey, with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed expected to visit the country for the first time in 10 years.
For several years, Turkey and the UAE were not even on speaking terms after a series of regional disputes brought relations to an all-time low. But now, things seem to be moving, albeit slowly, in a more positive direction.
According to some analysts, 2021 has been a year the UAE has shifted its main agenda to de-escalating regional tensions and prioritizing the expansion of trade partnerships. The UAE has also become the first Arab nation to send a mission to Mars. It's part of an ambitious space program that aims to build the first city there by 2117. After gaining independence in 1971, the UAE, a federation of 7 Emiratis or states, kept a low profile during much of the Cold War. Its turning point came when it joined the US coalition to oust the Iraqi army from Kuwait in 1991. Since then, the UAE has been closely allied to the US, but now it seems things could be changing.
US President Joe Biden is reportedly removing military assets from the Gulf.
This is a message to the region that the United States is rethinking its military posture and that the region is no longer the United States' priority.
The Biden administration has been accused of slowing down a weapons deal made during Donald Trump's presidency, which included advanced F-35 aircraft and armed drones worth $23 billion. The Biden administration reaffirmed its commitment to the deal. Myra Resnick, a deputy U.S. Assistant Secretary of State, told the Associated Press that the sale of the F-35 fighter jets will go ahead. But that initial pause by Biden was sure to have raised eyebrows in the UAE. And there's also the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, which went down poorly in all Gulf capitals. The US and the UAE have been vital allies for decades in both fighting terrorism and containing Iran. But because of Biden's indifference to the Middle East and his focus on Asia, many countries, especially the UAE, could be looking for alternative partners in addressing regional challenges. And Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed's new foreign policy vision could contribute to the UAE's growing influence.